You might be wondering why I'm sitting in my old Bronco. A few years ago, I went and picked this old Bronco up in Wisconsin, and it was full of rust, and I redid the thing. And if you stick around long enough in this video, I'll show you some pictures of what the thing looked like before. But today I need to tackle these brakes. They just went clear down to the floor before I started on it, and you can see right now that these things are really working good, and I want to share with you what I found. So let me get this hood opened and we'll get under the hood and I'll show you what happened. Before I get to what I want to show you, but what do you think of this engine? It's a 351 Windsor, and I had a company here in Indiana rebuild it. It's what they called a long block, and I pulled the thing out and put it back in, and it runs like $1,000,000 today. We'll talk about that later sometime, but right now I want to share with you this right here. I've never really replaced a master cylinder before, but I had to replace this one, and this is why. Right down here I had a steady stream of oil leaking out, and I didn't realize it. It set for the winter, and I thought, oh my, now what? These bolts, this is one of the things that I did not replace. This and this vacuum booster, I guess is what it's called. But everything else on this old truck, pretty much everything else I've replaced. One of the first things that I noticed was with these bolts here, they were extremely rusty. So just taking the thing off, the old one, was quite a job. And I want to show you this. See how rusty that is there? And see, it was leaking from right here, right down to the, on the floor. And at first I thought that my brake lines had sprung a leak, but it was that thing right here. Now, a couple of things that I was nervous about on this old one was these brake lines here are the only two brake lines that I didn't replace when I redid the brakes. Complete re-brake on the bottom side of this, shoes, caliper, you name it, I did it. And new brake lines, except for these two. I was afraid I would break them trying to get them loose. But I sprayed some penetrating oil on those, and I worked them with the right size wrench, and to my surprise they did come loose. So that's one thing you really need to take extra caution with, because if you break these lines, a 10-minute job becomes a 2-hour job all of a sudden, and you don't want that. Something else too was, like I mentioned, these bolts here. I was afraid I would break those off, but I was able to get all that loose, and I pulled this out. And I went to the local auto store and bought a new one. In preparation of installing that new one, I had to do what they call bench bleed it. And of course I didn't know for sure how to do that, so I asked my son, and he runs a shop and he does that stuff daily. But he told me how to do a bench bleed. There's a couple of ways you can do it. Sometimes the new one will come with hoses that you can put right back in from these two holes here, right back in, and then push this. After you fill these two reservoirs with oil, then you can just push it right back in and it'll suck oil in, and you got it bled. This one didn't come with that. So what I did was I put those caps in that did come with it. There was a cap for each. These are two different sizes. I filled this up with .3 brake fluid, on both sides. And I did one side at a time. What I did is just crack this just a little bit here, and then I pushed this in and it shot oil out, which you can see it doing that. And each time it blew bubbles and air and oil out, then I would snap it closed again, let it come back, and kept doing that till I had that what I felt comfortable with having it benched bled. And I did the same thing with this, and that's how you bench bleed, at least one way how you can bench bleed these, and that's what I did. I think the thing would have worked just fine yet, except it was leaking, and I can feel a lot of rust in the back of this thing. As you can see right here, that is was full of rust, and it worked for a long time. It wouldn't surprise me if this isn't the original master cylinder. If you made it this far into the video, I'm going to share something with you right now. I recorded this whole process of what I just explained, but dumb me had my camera set on slow motion and I couldn't get it to work. So I thought, what do I do now? So I still decided to go ahead and make this video and tell you what I did. I appreciate you watching along on this. And I discovered that this master cylinder is a little bit easier to replace than what I'd originally thought it would be. And I procrastinated for a month and a half on doing this, actually close to 2 months. Since I pulled my truck out of the storage shed. I want to drive it yet a little this summer, but I still have some work to do on it, and I want to show you that yet before we conclude here today. One thing I'd like to do is just get this thing cleaned up really good. It hasn't been waxed for about a year, and it probably should be waxed, but look at that thing. That thing was a pile of rust when I started on it. It was literally rusted in every corner, nook, and underneath. The frame was solid. I only had one cross member in the back on the body itself that was rusted completely out in both ends, and I did replace that along with the tailgate. The other thing that I want to work on is I installed this backup screen here. It's a Bluetooth. It hooks to your phone. I can put maps up on it, and it has a backup screen. I can play music through it. But right now my sound's dead because this speaker right here is grounded out for some reason. I need to take this door apart and check that speaker. And the biggest project that I want to complete on this, there's several other things. This door panel here has a hole in it. I want to take it, when I get it off, I want to fix that hole. I hate to replace this door panel, it's original. And then my lock switch here is broken. I need to fix it. It still works. It's hard. Like I started to say, the biggest thing on this is this right here. The heater positioning switch is going bad and I need to replace it because my position on the Bronco is stuck on the vents just facing right there. It won't go to defrost and it won't go to floor. And I would like it to do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and tear into this dash and see if I can find anything under there that's causing it, or if that little vacuum switch or whatever it is on the back of the control there is bad. I read that those can go bad, but I'm going to do that on my 1985 F-150 first. And the reason I'm going to do that on this first, and I'll show you. Yes, I believe that this dash will come apart a little easier here than on my Bronco. And the main reason why I want to do that is then I'll be familiar with the Bronco when I get to that. So my next project is going to be repairing the positioning control switch on this old F-150. Then when I get done with that, I'll move back over to this and we will do the same thing on that thing. And in the meantime, I want to put a few miles on it to check these brakes out and make sure everything's going to be good on it. So if you want to see what I do on this whole truck and that F-150 out there, they're the same age. There's really a good story behind that truck also. I'll share that in briefly as I'm working on it. And hopefully I won't mess up the camera. Subscribe to my channel and so you don't miss any of that. I just found a bee nest in my door here. What the heck? Wasps everywhere this year, aren't there? Can it be fixed? Sure it can. Can you fix it? Well, you're darn right you can fix it. Now, as I mentioned previously, if you've made it this far into video, I have a few pictures I want to share with you on some of the work I did on this truck. And I'd sure like to know what you think and what I should do. It's been a lot of work. Oh, one last thing. The battery's been low on this because I've had the hood up a lot and the door's open, but I want to show you if it runs or not. I forgot to, it may be dead, I don't know. If it is, I'll hook the charger to it and you can still see it. Yep, it's clicking. Let me get the charger on it and I'll show you how the thing runs. I forgot, my son gave me this power pack. That's a lot easier than a battery charger, isn't it? So let me get in there and we'll see how it runs. I think that squeaking noise you hear is that belt rubbing. I had my son rebuild the air conditioner on this. This is new, hoses are all new, cooler, everything like that. But I'm having trouble cooling it because I don't have proper, I think something's messed up with where it goes from outside to inside on where it gets the air for it. But I don't know, we'll see. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?